Notre Dame in Paris is now largely restored after the fire in 2019, and it's going to reopen in a couple of weeks. This is what it looks like now inside, a lot cleaner and brighter than before after just 5 years. The fire happened in April 2019 and they started work pretty quickly, but there was a lot of planning involved and the actual physical rebuilding process didn't start for a year or so, so they've got it done in record quick time. There will be still quite a lot of restoration to do, and that'll take another good couple of years, so the timeline will probably end up something like fire in 2019, church reopened for business in 2024, and final restoration finished maybe 2026. Pretty swift going. They still don't know what started the fire. They think it was either an electrical short circuit or a discarded cigarette butt, something like that. And notwithstanding the desires on the part of a few people, it wasn't an Islamic attack. That happy fact was amply compensated for, however, by the zeal with which many people in the Islamic community expressed their feelings on the subject on the Arabic version of France 24's Facebook page. I commented on this back then, and since the timing seems appropriate now, I'd like to shine another light on what people had to say about the Notre Dame fire in a community that was never invited into France or any other European country by popular referendum, for example. Shall we start importing a culture from the Middle East and Asia, which will eventually grow to outnumber our own? Yes or no? Gee, I wonder how that one would have turned out. And to have largely been ungracious guests ever since. So this was the headline: the fire of the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris shocks France and the world. And off they went. You'll see the Arabic and then an English translation, which I have tweaked for brevity and good English without changing any of the meaning. Someone with an Arabic name says, before people sympathise with Notre Dame, they should know that it was the centre of the launch of the Crusades on Islam and the Muslims at the beginning of the Third Crusade in 1185. May Allah increase it! This is a very common theme. Not only is the fire right and proper, but it should be worse because, and then copy and paste in some historic event you claim to be unhappy about. On this occasion, the Third Crusade in 1189, to recapture the Holy Land, which is now almost a millennium ago, and in the Holy Land. For what it's worth, I can't find any reference to any organisation taking place in the Cathedral of Notre Dame. This is obviously nothing whatsoever to do with a crusade that everybody has long forgotten about, and it says everything about the people commenting. Busaid Abderrahmane says, Lion of Islam, may Allah bless you for this. Nabil Chabot, Lion of Islam, you are led by the fire of terrorism. Najat Miraj, bless you. Somebody else with an Arabic name, Lion of Islam, Dirt Sons of Dogs, fire on your heart. On the hearts of the Dirt Sons of Dogs, that is us lot, generous hosts to many of them. Mohammed Abdo, Dogs of Europe. Tufik Mazerdi, Islam is all, well done. Lena S. Hatter, who seems to be a Westerner, the Lion of Islam, how sweet. Niazi Al-Tug, I dedicate this fire to all the Algerian people and people of the homeland, and we wish another fire upon you. Younes Al-Girina, in Algeria this gave us great shock. The presence of the surrounding emoticons of hilarity suggests that the shock Younes mentioned is not an unhappy one. Amine Minou, did you weep for the Umayyad Mosque in Aleppo built in 717? For those of you who talk human history and make empty speeches, that mosque is 400 years older. The mosque in question had been damaged 6 years previously in 2013 during the Syrian civil war. Here we are again. Since the Aleppo mosque was also damaged, it is morally unacceptable to bemoan the destruction of Notre Dame, which gives you an idea of the attitude of sheer entitlement of these people. Amal Jamou, we will think of the people who have suffered from hunger, oppression and war. Then another Arabic named user, you are shocked by the burning of the cathedral. What about the massacre of the martyrs in the New Zealand mosque? Same logic. Something bad happens to them and you lose all right to object to something bad happening to you or to the trappings of a non-Islamic religion. And I say logic, but this is just some degenerate voicing his dislike of the rest of us. Adlain Abderrahmane, the most beautiful scene of nature. May Allah grant more of these scenes in the whole of Europe. A little bit of what you did in our mosques and to the Muslims. Aslam Muad, how many historic mosques were deliberately destroyed in Iraq and Syria? Did anyone blink an eye? You blinked an eye about your mosques. The Westerners blinked an eye about their cathedral. But that's not acceptable, even though the Westerners are, in the West, reacting to a Western matter. Muslims in the East reacting to an Islamic matter, is entirely acceptable. Hassan Bouabid: our solidarity with the Charlie Hebdo attack was not reciprocated in the New Zealand attack. Why was the destruction of the Alamo Mosque in Syria not met with a similar response to this? He seems to have forgotten the complete meltdown in the West by the Westerners over the New Zealand mosque attack. Suhaila Atto has some advice for Christians. God has sent a warning to Christians to return to Jesus Christ the Saviour so that their faith will increase and they will return to their churches. Baha Chabo: Hollywood never did anything like this. I congratulate the director for his efforts. Logos Nero in English says, some of the comments on here are very disturbing. Read through them and tell me about how Islam is compatible with Western values. His was very much a lone voice. And Nithai Sayen was indeed unmoved. I am happy with this fire and this destruction. Yusuf Lacoste: Allahu Akbar. Amal Mohammed: Oh Allah, may they burn. Some Arabic name again. Soon we will die of joy. Mohammed, 2 for the price of 1 there. Shock: haha, this is joy. Feras Habeb: great joy for this sad news. We don't know the physical location of these users posting jubilation under the cloak of Facebook anonymity. It's France 24's page, so that suggests local interest. But are these celebrators at a safe distance and not taking anything from the country, or are many of them living at the grace and favour of the French state, while posting joyously about its destruction? Difficult to say, probably more the latter, it being a French news page. But in any event, they can't claim any agency in the destruction, much as I have no doubt many would love to do. And the restoration has clearly resulted in a basically unchanged but rejuvenated structure. Apparently the sticky substance that they used to peel away the soot has brightened things up a lot inside, and they were always going to restore it so it would be better than before. So all the Islamic crowing went for nothing, and you have to wonder why they even bothered to begin with. Hopefully our friend who was so askance at the reduction to rubble of the mosque in Aleppo will not now suffer too much in the face of the resurrection of the Paris Cathedral.